What's up guys, this Nimbus Reviews here, back with another One Piece video. So some of my first videos on my channel were me discussing and kind of analyzing Luffy's relationship with individual members of the crew. I'd only got through Zoro, Nami, and Usopp at the time, so I decided to pick that series back up, and who better to start with than the cook of the crew, Blackleg Sanji. Honestly, Sanji is a very weird character for me, because I love his highs, but don't really enjoy him for the most part as a character anymore. I plan on making an in-depth video on this character soon, but for now, I just want to talk about his relationship with Luffy. And just so by the way, I've already started working on a script for that video. It's turning out really good. I'm about halfway through, so expect that really soon. But now, back to this video. So a lot of Luffy and Sanji's development in their relationship happened during Whole Cake Island. But even before that, the relationship has always been interesting and special within the crew. To me, their relationship is most similar to Luffy and Nami's, but even then, it's still quite a bit different. Sanji and Luffy are very different people with very different ways of thinking, but they do have something very important in common: their compassion. They have the same sympathetic feelings for those in suffering, and are both willing to go out of their way to put themselves at risk if it means helping or protecting those in need. And some of the other crewmates do have similar ways of thinking when it comes to compassion and helping others, but it's kind of different, at least the way I think about it, because Sanji and Luffy, it's more, I don't really know how to say it, but I feel like there's no like attachment to it. See, with Nami, she specifically doesn't like kids being mistreated or being helpless or being in suffering. And then you have Chopper, he's a doctor, he has to help people. If he didn't have that, it would be weird. But then you have a cook and just someone who wants to be king of the pirates, who have this weird sense of compassion compared to every other pirate. I think it's very interesting, and they probably share this most in common compared to the other ones. At least that's what I think. And I even think Sanji has this a bit more than Luffy, sometimes even to a fault, as I don't think Luffy would give someone like Pudding another chance after she did what she did to Sanji, just because after that Luffy wouldn't respect her or like her as a person. And you can say Luffy gives people second chances all the time, like Kobe and Nami, but I think it's different with Pudding, because with Nami and Kobe, you can clearly see they didn't like who they were being, they just had to be them. But with Pudding, it's like, you kind of can't tell, does she like the way she's been raised by Big Mom, or does she not? Like towards the end of arc, Whole Cake Island, obviously you can see like she wants to be a kinder person, more like how she is when she's pretending, but I still think it's different, and I don't think Luffy would give her a second chance the same way Sanji did. There's many more small examples in that one, but that was the biggest one I can think of off the top of my head in the story. That's the one I brought up. But yeah, I don't think having this compassion feeling in common does really much with their relationship. They just tend to agree on certain things when it comes to helping people. But other than that, it didn't really lead into anything special or cool, or anything narratively hasn't resulted in anything. The easiest and most common person Sanji is compared to Zoro. And when it comes to their relationship with Luffy, I think it's easy to compare because they are the same age, so there's the same age gap. And they kind of have a similar personality when it comes to, like, they're both pretty stoic. Obviously they're different. Like, there's a goofier side to Sanji compared to Zoro, and Zoro's more about honorable stuff, and he's more about fighting and training and stuff. But still, like, you could see somebody both the same age having a similar relationship to Luffy, but I think Oda has chosen to do their relationships very differently, and here's why I think they're different. They both have an older brother feel to them, but Sanji's able to connect with Luffy more emotionally. And then there seems like there's less of a disconnect in terms of age, even though it's the same age difference. So in a way, Sanji's like the middle child mentally and emotionally, in terms of the monster trio, that being Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji. So if Usopp is Luffy's best friend and Zoro is his older brother, then I think Sanji would be the middle brother, who's a little bit older, but not quite the same feeling you get from the oldest brother or the firstborn. At least that's how I see it. That's how the relationship kind of plays off. And I know it's not exactly like that, but you can really see what I'm talking about pre-time skip, specifically before like Enies Lobby in Water 7, when there's a lot more character interaction that wasn't so serious, and we were able to see the crew just kind of relax and chill more in general. I was thinking about going a little bit deeper in this video, trying to analyze everything about their relationship, but I don't think that would be good for me, because sometimes if I look too deep when there's something really isn't that deep, I tend to put my own opinions as facts, almost like how people treat their own headcanon as canon. And I don't really like to do that, because Oda hasn't shown anything further with their relationship in terms of like something that you would have to look into deeper to understand it fully. I think it's pretty straightforward, and on the surface you can probably read basically everything you need to know about Sanji and Luffy's relationship. And I would like to talk about that for a little bit. On the surface, their relationship, their gags, and their interactions are very simple. Luffy usually does something funny or stupid with Usopp or someone else on the crew, and it affects Sanji in some way. He gets mad and then he kicks him. It's usually about him messing with food or him teasing Sanji about him liking women. Sometimes Sanji will also act like as a substitute voice of reason for Luffy if Zoro or Nami aren't there to do so, or just in need of backup to convince Luffy. He's not against stepping up before the others, as shown when he stopped Luffy from saying something he'd regret to Usopp. That is the side of Sanji I enjoy the most, and I always look forward to his more serious moments. But I do also enjoy the goofy side to him, because it adds some humor. At least pre-time skip I enjoyed the goofy side to him. Not so much recently, but we'll get into that in another video coming soon. I'm really liking how it's coming out. We'll see. But at this point in the video, I'd like to talk about the events that transpired in Whole Cake Island arc. But I'd like to say that for the video I have planned on Sanji's character as a whole. But I will say that Luffy and Sanji's relationship is better than it's ever been. And Sanji learned a lot from that arc, and I'm really excited to talk about it in my next video. Now I'd like to discuss where I think their relationship will go in the future of the story. Okay, for Luffy and Sanji's relationship, I think the bulk of the change and progression happened during the Baratie and the Whole Cake Island arc. And going forward, I don't think much will change. They both understand and trust each other, now more than ever, and nothing can change that. Sanji is Luffy's cook, crewmate, and friend. And Luffy refuses to enjoy food or go after his dream if he doesn't have him around. That was one of the important lessons Sanji had to learn, and I'm glad Oda used Sanji to show off that aspect of Luffy. The next and final segment of this video, I'd just like to go over a few of my favorite moments between the two of them. The first being one I mentioned earlier when Sanji kicked Luffy to stop him from telling Usopp that he should leave the crew. For me, this moment showed that Sanji can have the same maturity and initiative as is shown with Zoro's character. Also, I'm sorry for all the Zoro comparisons, but their rivalry and how the fanbase acts about them has made it kind of troubling to not do so. Nowadays, I just find it hard to mention Zoro without Sanji or Sanji without Zoro, even though I don't think their rivalry is as big as people play it out to be, and I've kind of been corrupted, I think, by the community. Not that I think their rivalry is a bad thing or anything, I just think Sanji fans and Zoro fans kind of take it overboard and make it more than what it is. Now for the second moment, that would be when Sanji and Luffy finally meet in Whole Cake Island, and Sanji's hitting Luffy and acting like he doesn't like him. And as Sanji and the Vinsmokes are leaving, Luffy tells Sanji that no matter how much Sanji hits him, it's still Sanji who's actually hurting. And then Sanji can't hold his tears anymore. This is an amazing moment, showcasing Luffy's ability to truly read people, and no matter how hard Sanji tries, he can never truly get rid of his emotions. That's another side to Sanji's character I really enjoy, but I'm not sure I like how Oda's taken it. He's definitely given it more of a focus in the post-time skip, but I don't think he took it the way I expected him to take it, or at least not the start of it at least. Now, I think it's good. Before, like when they're first starting it with Whole Cake Island and before, I didn't really care for it that much, even though I thought it was interesting. I was going to do 3 moments, but I like to just do a short honorable mention moment, which would be when Luffy is waiting for Sanji in Whole Cake Island, where he said he would wait for him until he came and fed him and he wouldn't eat anything. Sanji finds him completely exhausted and starving and finally brings him the food. Sanji dropped the food or something, I forget what actually happened, and it was raining, so it's completely messed up, and Oda uses to parallel the moment that this happened with his mother, and she still enjoyed the food the same way Luffy did, even though it was completely messed up. And you can tell that they weren't pretending, they actually loved Sanji, so they loved the food. I guess that's it for this video. I'm really excited for the next video I have coming. Well, I don't know if it's going to be the next one coming out, but the next one on Sanji I have coming, because it's going to go really in depth onto what Sanji was as a character to me pre-time skip, and what he is now, and why I kind of don't like it with how he's been taken. But yeah, I'm not really good at transitioning to outros, but let me know if you like the structure of this video, because I definitely don't plan on stopping them. I'll do more. I'm not sure if I'll do them one by one. I might pair people together or group them together. Like Chopper, I don't think I can do a single video on Chopper and Luffy's relationship because it's really not that special. Or maybe I'm just not that into Chopper as a character. I'm not sure. But anyways, I'll decide and then you'll see the video when it comes out. So with that being said, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, later.